Hello and welcome to Buyer's Remorse. I'm Justin.
I'm Darren.
Here on Buyer's Remorse, we find games that are in each other's libraries, games that are untouched or unplayed. We have that person play for 60 minutes the game they bought thinking would be great, or just got stuck within a bundle, and report back to say whether it is a wonderful buyer's confirmation or the dreaded buyer's remorse. What game did you play?
Golden Light.
Golden Light was part of a Humble Monthly Humble Choice, right?
Yep, and I was really happy because this was on my wish list.
Yeah, it does look like the type of thing that'd be on your wish list. Tell us about Golden Light.
Where to start?
Well, start. Who made it?
Yeah.
How old is it?
So the developer is Mr. Pink. Things didn't end too well for him in Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Publisher Hype Train Digital. It is about $20 on Steam, and it's got very positive reviews, 1,694 of them.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, so full disclosure, I did play part of this game, just enough to think, wow, this is a bit of a nightmare. And not like because it's a horror game, but because I just found it to be a mess. Yeah. I don't know how you feel about it. I was not impressed with the visuals. I was not impressed with the gameplay.
Yeah.
It's not my kind of game. And I'm not going to say it's the reason I didn't choose to take that month, but it certainly didn't help.
So the game starts off where you are... Well, first of all, it's like really PlayStation 1 kind of graphics.
Yes, it is. Very much. It is, as I said, not a pretty game.
No.
And then the things that they do give you are organic nightmare kind of things.
Yes.
Because isn't the whole... You're in sort of like a dungeon that's made of flesh, right?
A meat dungeon, yeah, why not call it that? But yeah, the game starts off you and your girlfriend having a picnic. There's a little blanket laid out, and then you're like, I'll go and pick a flower for you. You pick a flower for her, and then you come back, and then this, I don't know what it is, something just comes from beneath the ground and just grabs her and sucks her down into the pits of hell, and basically you just jump in after her. And then it's just like, from there on, you're on your fucking own. Because there's like no tutorial. There are little bits of tutorial in the game where it's like, do this, do this, do this. But wow, does this game just throw everything out the window? It's like, oh, I found a knife. It's like, okay, now eat it. Like, what? So you can eat the weapons. And it's a roguelike, so it's like sometimes the weapon will do something great. Sometimes it will harm you. Sometimes it'll do something just dumb. Everything is so random in this game. It's all over the place. And you can walk through walls. It's like you can clip through walls, but it's on purpose. Like right from the very start of the game, you start off, there's just this wall of meat in front of you, and your girlfriend is splatted into the wall kind of thing, and she's like one of the alien things, like one of the from Alien 4, like kill me, like that. And you're like, where do I go? I can't go backwards. And then you're like, oh, I can walk through this wall into the meat dungeon further. You pick up gold coins. You pick up the map is made of meat. You can find weapons, and then the game just like, you figure it out. I made it. You deal with it. And so, I tell you what though, the first 10 to 15 minutes, I was like, oh, Justin, man, what have you done to me? But it got better. It definitely got better. Did
it get better?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think 15 minutes is about as far as I've seen.
Right. Because, yeah. I'll explain what happens later on.
I do think you streamed this one, though,
I did stream this one.
I'm just wondering if that helped. You were there with people probably laughing at how you are being treated in the game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, this is definitely my kind of game. So it's like right off the bat. I mean, I did have this already wishlisted. So when I saw Golden Light, and there was 2 other games in that bundle that I wanted. I can't remember what they are now. But if I can get 3 games in a bundle, then I won't pause. But anything less than that, I always pause. So I was like, yep, I'm in. And then anyway, so into the game. The game, as far as I know, it's a roguelike where you run around a map, you get attacked by enemies. You don't have to. What I found out later on is like you really shouldn't even engage with them. You should just run. Like, don't bother fighting them. You got to run around, find keys that open a gate into like an elevator. It's an elevator / telephone booth. Mm-hmm. Did you get in? Did you find enough keys to get in? Did you manage to finish one level?
I think so. Yeah.
Right. So you go in and you do that. Then the next level maybe has 2 locks on the door. So now you've got to find 2 keys.
I found the whole walls may not be walls but doors to just be utterly confusing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
There didn't seem to be any indicator as to which ones were fake walls.
No, you just find them by accident.
So you have to try every panel of every wall.
And there's things like, you're like, can I get behind that shelf? Like, yeah, you can, but it doesn't look like you should be able to. Yeah, there's a lot of just dumbness in this game and weirdness. But the story does progress, and then I got to a point where I found there's one level that I had to find 3 keys or something like that, and I managed to escape. I was almost dead. I managed to escape, and then I found a hub. So there's a hub of the game where you're kind of outside again, but it's not the same outside as where the rose was. It's still a hellish nightmare. There's this guy with like really long arms playing a piano. And I managed to get up on top of him and like get on top of his piano. And you can ride a bike. You can get on a bicycle and you can ride it around in this hub.
Is this where you start? Then every time you die after that?
Maybe, because that was the end of my hour.
Okay.
I managed to get to this hub. Was it frustrating? Yes. The learning curve is off the chart, kind of difficult because the game does tell you can eat stuff, but there's so many different keys for like eating stuff or doing this or you can attack with this or you can do this or you can block with this or something like that. I can't remember exactly if you can block, but there's just some weird mechanics to this game, and it's not like, oh, this is like a Doom shooter. It's like, oh yeah, just strafe around, right click for this, left click for that, done. It's like jump, whatever. This game's like, you can eat the map. What?
Do you have boss fights?
Not that I could see. In the trailer, it looks like it. It looks like there's pretty big enemies.
That's kind of the hallmark of a roguelike.
Yeah.
Really, is that you're going again and again and again. You, for a while, were into Binding of Isaac, right?
Yeah.
Which is very much that kind of mechanic. You go through and open up new possibilities, die, try to do it again.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that, I'm not really sure what this game is, but
I mean, it's obviously you got to rescue your girlfriend, but yeah, I don't know where the boss was. I found this hub without defeating a boss. Maybe there was a boss there, but I just ran away from it because I did have pretty bad health. And the game is quite hard. Once you engage with someone, it is quite hard. Like, it's almost like you're trading blows. Like, I hit you, but I also take a bit of damage in the process. But then again, I've not got the eating mechanic. I've got this beautiful axe that can just slice through everything. I'm not eating that. I'm not giving that up. And also, I'm not giving up if I don't even know what it does. Like, is it going to kill me if I eat it? Maybe. Is it going to replenish all of my health? Maybe. Like, nah, game. Nah.
Can you put the axe down, pick up a knife, for example, eat the knife, and then pick the axe back up again?
Probably. That might be, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can drop weapons. There might be a button for it, and I'll probably just missed a tutorial. Like, yeah, do this, drop stuff and experiment. Like, yeah, I didn't see that button.
It's not pretty though.
No, it's ugly. It's noisy. It's disgusting. But it was fun.
Okay. There are so many games that you like that have this sort of grotesque but beautiful agony in it. I know for one that really wasn't for me, but it was definitely something that you enjoyed playing.
Mm-hmm.
This one, though, because of the low quality of graphics, I wasn't sure. I thought that you wouldn't like it because of that. It's missing that element, I think, for you, which is one of the things you normally talk about. And I'm not saying that we need amazing graphics in all games, but this is 3D kind of early Doom kind of graphics.
It's like that thing where it's like the characters are almost like a two-dimensional sheet of paper, and as you strafe around them, they turn to face you, so it's like fake 3D. Yeah, it's weird. But in the trailer, though, it does look like there are 3D sprites and monsters and stuff that are in the game later on. But yeah, it's just... And also, things happen just too quickly. So it's like, once you start getting attacked, it's not like you can go into VATS, like pause the game while you look around, but it's like everything's just a blur and just a mess. So yeah, it's pretty ugly, but it's got a charm, and it's got like it's got this PlayStation 1 aesthetic, but they've tweaked little bits of the game that look a little bit better. Like the elevator is definitely not PlayStation 1 graphics. It's like they've upgraded that so it stands out, kind of thing. So they know what they're doing. They definitely know what they're doing, and they've done everything on purpose, I think. So it's like, I appreciate that. But the first 15, 20 minutes for me were like, oh man, what have I done? But then as I realized, like, okay, get the key, get in the elevator, done. Get to the next floor, get the keys, get in the elevator. And there are maps that tell you all these other weird things that you can collect. There probably is tons of stuff to do in the game, but I was just kind of racing through because I just like, just get me out of this dungeon. And I did. And I got to the hub, and then I got really lost because... it's big, and I had no idea where I was supposed to be going. Basically you can get back in the elevator. I'm guessing this is maybe a place to spend your gold coins that you pick up all the time, or I've got no idea. I'm
assuming that's what the hub is. The hubs are usually for upgrading, making new things available in the maze once you get into it.
Right, but I couldn't find anyone to interact with. So it's like, I got a bike and then I drove it off a cliff or something like that. Or I drove it into the water or something like that. And then I was like, well, I've played it for like an hour and 10 minutes. It's like, okay, I'm done.
It is first person, right?
It's first person.
Is there platforming involved? Because that's always one of the things for me is I don't like first person.
Right in the beginning of the game, the game does teach you that there's a jump mechanic because you got to jump over a desk. But as far as I know, it's no Mirror's Edge, that's for sure. It's
right.
But it doesn't look like there's any complex jumping now.
Would you recommend this game to me?
No, definitely not. No. No. And the fact that you've told me that you've already tried it is enough. But yeah,
but I didn't make it past that first 15 minutes, and that's where you said
I don't think it's going to get any better for you. I don't think it's going to get any better.
Maybe I'll watch you if you decide to stream it again.
Right. But no, it looks like the thing that I could get into. I've tried a couple of other games like this, and I didn't like them. There was another one. I can't even remember the name of it. It's going to annoy me. I'm going to remember it after we stop recording. But it was like, it's a game where you have to run from the start point. And it's very similar aesthetics. It's very PlayStation 1-ish. But it's a corridor maze, like a hotel corridor. And basically you've got something silly like 30 seconds to get to the exit. But every time you shoot someone in the head, you get like a 3-second bonus. And so you have to be fast, but you also have to be accurate. And that's just not me. I don't even think I finished the first level, man. And I was like, I really wanted to give this a fair go, but I ended up hating it. This, on the other hand, though, is much fairer. And I think it's something that I will probably go back to.
That's good. Would you recommend it to anyone?
Yeah, definitely maybe horror fans of horror. Someone who's not graphics isn't everything for them. Graphics aren't everything for them, and maybe roguelike kind of pros. People that like that kind of fast-paced challenge. Yeah, that's who I would recommend it for.
People who love Elden Ring like you do.
Yeah. I'm almost at 200 hours now.
Elden Ring to Golden Light.
Oh God! Just put those two side by side. Yeah. It's definitely not got Elden Ring's graphics. That's for sure.
You said you'd go back to it.
I would.
So tags then. What 3 tags would you give it?
Well, yeah. For some reason, Steam does not have this as a roguelike. I don't know why. Maybe I'm wrong in my tagging of that as a roguelike, but it definitely feels like that because you die, and I think you get to keep your upgrades, and you die with knowledge of like what to do.
Maybe it's just not one of the top
ones. Yeah, I would say it's a roguelike. I could be wrong though. Maybe I am. Roguelike. It's definitely old school PS1 graphics, like old school graphics, and horror. Yeah, it's a kind of or gore horror, maybe, if that would be a better tag, because it is pretty disgusting, malformed enemies, lots of blood and guts everywhere, and you chop them open and blood spurts everywhere. Even the walls are made of guts, so it's like everything's made of bone and flesh, basically. So yeah, that's the 3 tags that I would give it.
And would you say this was a wonderful buyer's confirmation or a dreaded buyer's remorse?
It's another confirmation, man. 2 in a row today.